Welcome back to Barça Vibes. Today is October 10th, 2025, and the Camp Nou rebuild continues to reach new heights. In this update, we're focusing on three major areas: the third tier's upward progression, the interior structural works, beyond just seats, and the outside transformation, including facades and surrounding infrastructure. No pitch talk. You already know that piece. Let's go. The most striking visual now at Camp Nou is the emergence of the third tier, the upper bowl that completes the stadium's iconic shape. What was once scaffolding and void is becoming solid structure. Vertical columns connecting beams and floor slabs are being installed across multiple sectors. These are not temporary supports. They are the permanent framework that will hold thousands of fans above. You can see the curvature forming as the tier wraps around the stadium's bowl, integrating with the lower levels. Structural connectors and reinforcement frames link this new tier into the existing structure. In aerial footage, the stadium's silhouette is gradually recapturing its legendary skyline form. This is a powerful moment for any fan observing the transformation. The defining outline of Camp Nou is being rebuilt in front of our eyes. Let's head inside to the structural bones that support all interior spaces. First, the concrete cores and vertical shafts, rising stairwell towers, elevator shafts, and emergency exit columns now form a skeletal grid through the stadium's floors. These concrete supports are becoming enclosed, reinforced, and ready to bear loads. Between them, steel beams and girders stretch across concourse ceilings, linking cores horizontally. These beams will carry floor loads, ceilings, and mechanical systems above. You can clearly spot where those beams have been welded and aligned in the structure, in zones where the covering layers are not yet installed. Then there are the interior partition and load-bearing walls, not cosmetic at all, but essential. These structures carve out space for corridors, mechanical rooms, restrooms, press areas, and public facilities. Many walls have been erected in frame form, awaiting concrete infill, wiring, and attachments. Inside those walls, utility routes for plumbing, ventilation ducts, and electrical conduits are already being installed. Below these zones lie subfloor technical systems, maintenance tunnels, cable races, drainage channels, and piping loops. These foundational pathways are essential for stadium operations. They will deliver utilities, power, and safety systems to every level without interfering with spectator pathways. We also see ceiling decks and roof support structures being installed inside. Joists, subframes, and support girders are in place ahead of finishing layers. These will support overhead equipment, acoustic systems, and ceiling panels once completed. Mechanical and service rooms are also taking shape. Concrete enclosures, pipe anchor points, access doors, and early insulation are installed in some zones. These rooms will later house HVAC systems, backup power, fire suppression systems, and broadcast infrastructure. Underfoot, the concourse slabs and support beams are being completed. Where there was rough concrete and support structures, now you see leveled surfaces ready for finishing. Workers are installing anchor points for handrails and barrier supports, readying the structural layout for public use. Walk through interior corridors now, and you'll often see exposed structural walls with mounting brackets for future fixtures, open access to ductwork and conduit paths, and beams overhead waiting for ceiling panels. It's raw, it's essential, and it's the backbone of what will become a working stadium. This interior structural work isn't glamorous, but it is foundational. Without it, seats, finishes, and spectators cannot be safely supported. When you see workers connecting beams or pouring concrete into wall cores, that's the stadium being reassembled from the inside out. Turning back to the outside, the stadium's shell continues to evolve in dramatic ways. The facade cladding is being installed section by section. Aluminum and glass panels now cover much of the outer bowl, replacing exposed structural frames. In areas where panels are complete, those surfaces already reflect daylight with a sleek, modern sheen. Joint sealing, Waterproofing layers and panel alignment works remain active. These ensure the facade isn't just aesthetic, it's durable against weather and time. In several places, scaffolding is being removed, leaving smooth, continuous surfaces that tell a new visual story of Camp Nou. At ground level, pedestrian plazas, entry zones, and entrance forecourts are being paved and landscaped. Drop-off zones and turnstile foundations are in place, with ticket scan gateways awaiting hardware installation. These functional areas are critical to matchday flows and initial fan experience. The surrounding neighborhood is adapting too. Construction barriers are being repositioned to allow clearer sightlines of the stadium. Streets around Les Cours are gradually being reconnected, and sidewalks, curb cuts, and signage poles are being installed. Green zones and small plantings are being fitted around the stadium footprint, softening the precinct's edges. What's key here is not just the stadium itself, but the transition to a fan experience, how people arrive, move, and gather. The outside works are aligning the stadium with the city, allowing it to live in context rather than appear as an isolated structure. So, as of October 10th, 2025, here's where we stand. The third tier is visibly rising and reclaiming Camp Nou's iconic outline. Inside, crucial structural works, cores, beams, walls, service rooms, are advancing deep into the stadium's framework. Outside, facades, plazas, and access zones are coalescing into a modern stadium environment. The visual transformation is undeniable, yet the stadium is still undergoing detailed and strict inspections to ensure all structural, safety, and operational systems meet regulatory standards before reopening. Over the next weeks, keep your eyes peeled for facade panels reaching upper bowls, finish removal of scaffolding, infrastructure testing inside corridors and rooms, and ticket/turnstile systems becoming active. These are signs that the stadium is approaching readiness step by step. Thank you for trusting me to bring you the most accurate, non-speculative Camp Nou updates. If you found this useful, please like, subscribe, and activate notifications. The journey home is underway. Visca el Barça, and see you next time.